Hello everyone and welcome to my freak show. I am Mary Girl Moody and today let's review episode 3 of AHS Delicate titled When the Bough Breaks. Now, I absolutely have a lot of feels on this episode. I don't know about y'all, but I am absolutely ready for this review, so let's jump into the synopsis first. Anna and Dex have left the hospital. I don't remember exactly what was said about the nurse, but Anna's just like, look, they're gonna think I'm crazy, but it's not a coincidence that this nurse gives me an ultrasound and then like 30 seconds later I miscarry. Dex is just trying to come to placate her and let her know, look, that just doesn't happen. He asks her, what do you want to do now? And she says, well, I want to try again. Don't you? And he says, yes, but I want to wait just a little bit. And this leads Anna and Dex kind of into a little bit of a tiff. And Anna asks Kamal to stop the car and she goes into the woods. And he just lets her go. She is being stalked and harassed by somebody and she just wants to walk into the woods. And he's like, okay. Where she comes across a pile of rocks and they're kind of like lit on fire or something. But Mrs. Preacher is just like up doing her like teenage thing up in the tree. She's just hanging out up there, like just looking at Anna. And she tells her, I've been looking for you. And instead of just confronting her and asking her, why? What do you want? Or anything like that, Anna turns around and runs. Which, okay, I understand. I'm a little older. Maybe I would handle things differently, but I want to know what you guys would have done at that point. Sure, we were scared, absolutely, but what would you have done? Would you have just straight up run away from Miss Preacher? Or would you have just stood there a little longer and asked her, why have you been looking for me? What is it you want? Or, like I said, would you have just turned around and run away? Let me know in the comments. All right, so again, Anna turns around, runs away, and she goes home, and Dex is there. And it's been maybe like 4 hours since Anna left Dex and Kamal, that she's been in the woods. And Dex is like, I've been so worried. I had no idea where you were. He's like, everybody's been out searching for you. So Anna is like, well, why were you so worried? And he tells her that the doctor at the hospital gave her a sedative after the miscarriage. Anna asks a very damn good question finally, and she says, then why did you let me just walk off into the woods, Dex? When you know I've had this heavy sedative, why did you just let me go into the woods? And he used that stupid excuse, I didn't know what to do. So Anna tells Dex and Kamal, because Kamal has entered the house at this time. He's very thankful that Anna is safe. She tells them about the woman in the wood, Mrs. Preacher in the woods and the fire. They go to where she saw it, which I'm really surprised Anna can just recall where she saw this woman in the woods that she's never really been to before, but she must have a better memory than myself. But there's nothing there. No Miss Preacher, there's no rocks, there's no fire, there's nothing. Of course, Kamal and Dex don't believe Anna, but there was one thing I did forget to mention in my other review, which I'm not exactly sure at this point if I mentioned it, but Anna has this little tiny red spot on her face. It was very small and faint, maybe in the second episode. And I thought to myself, oh my God, like, makeup didn't just cover that pimple. It's just so prominent in episode 2, and it definitely was not there in episode 1. And then I thought, okay, well, that's obviously not a makeup mistake. That must be something that is important to the episode. And it is, because in this episode, it starts getting bigger. As the episode progresses, that little red tiny dot that you think is just a little pimple that's coming out, it is not. It's getting bigger. So in the next clip, Anna has fallen asleep after she has been looking up on social media and just overwhelms herself with it. She takes a little nap. And when she wakes up, she is standing actually in her bathroom with Dex in the bed. So again, time has passed significantly for her and she does not remember it. Now, the weirdest thing happens next. I don't even know that it's coming out of my mouth. Anna hears noises downstairs and she goes down and we have MJ Rodriguez, awesome, playing Nicolette, who is Talia's house manager, basically. But she's using the breast pump. And she turns around and she sees Anna. She's like, oh, I didn't know you were there. I'm just over here using your breast pump. Nicolette claims that she is a single mother to her 8-week-old baby. While she's talking to Nicolette, Anna sees a basket of like fruit from this person, Hamish. I guess he was the director of her film, The Auteur, that she's so famous for. I do like the spunky little connection between Kim Kardashian and him. She just tells him like it is. I bet you it's like one of those love-fuck relationships. You know what I mean. So she goes to Dex and she's like, dude, how does this guy know where we are? We said that we weren't going to tell anybody. But he says, I didn't think it would be bad to tell this guy. Seriously, Dex literally has no sense of logic. Now, at this time, Dex takes notice of the little red spot that's on Anna's face. And Anna's mind flashes back to Cara Delevingne when she was in the hospital with her in the previous episode, and that she had a small little dimple as well, which in the book, Siobhan, the book character, had a birthmark in the shape of a small hand under her chin, which supposedly that marked the sign of a witch. So I'm wondering if this is the substitute from the book to the show regarding that little birthmark, supposedly. Now, at this point, I don't know if Dex was actually trying to be nice or if he was just trying to push Anna off on someone else. But he suggests that he's getting up because he's going to call Siobhan and have her come over to visit Anna because it seems that Anna really needs some girl time. So Dex gets up to go call Siobhan. Anna turns around, and then all of a sudden, Siobhan is right there. So again, Anna has lost time, and actually she has eaten all of the candy and the fruit and everything that was left for her by Hamish. And it's really actually endearing to see the friendship between Siobhan and Anna, that Siobhan is actually there for her, telling her, look, I do support you, and I know exactly what you're going through. And that is really what Anna needs at that point. So she cooks Anna a nice, fresh, organic meal, and the two go walking out on the beach, and Anna finds a summer day doll in the beach in the sand. And as Anna and Siobhan walk away from the beach with Kamal, two of the women are actually standing back in the beach, all dressed in black with these big, like, you know, deer antlers. And it's so obvious that they're there, but obviously the three of them don't see them. But they're there. They're watching over Anna and Siobhan. She also convinces Anna in their time together that Dex is not having an affair with Sonia, regardless of the fact that Sonia looks just exactly like his dead ex-wife. The woman in the hospital did not cause her miscarriage. People are not watching her. There's not a conspiracy against her. Now, this was the section that I truly enjoyed in the episode. After Siobhan leaves, Anna goes downstairs into the basement. She's got some wine, and she sees Talia's, like, baby items. So she starts going through the photo albums and flipping through the pictures, looking at her clothes. She actually crawls up and falls asleep, I guess drunkenly, on the basement floor. When Anna wakes up, she hears a noise coming from that little door downstairs in the basement. And I don't know if I mentioned that in a previous review. I don't even remember if they had mentioned it before, but I don't understand. Anna goes to the door, she opens this little door, and she starts crawling inside. Okay, she will not stand there and ask Miss Preacher way out in the woods that she obviously knows where she is, where there's fire and there's open area. She won't stand there and talk to Miss Preacher, but she'll crawl at a tiny microscopic hole to go investigate a hole in the wall. Have that make sense to me? She continues to crawl, and then the ceiling rises, so she stands up and she starts walking down even more narrow corridors. She sees, like, in one space, like, little fetuses kept in jars. It's very disjarring that she will keep going forward. And then Anna comes to an old school looking gynecological exam table. Guys, I don't know about y'all. Comment below, please. But I would have noped the fuck out of there at the sound coming from the little door. I would never have opened to that door. I would never have gone forward. How Anna did not do that. It kept going closer like, oh, what is this crazy contraption I see here? Oh, oh my God. Okay, at this point, I don't really like how they're writing Anna, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying Anna's bad decision, if that makes sense. Girl, Anna finally sees the words Satan written on the wall and finally nopes the fuck out of there. But that's sadly when she is taken by the women that are all dressed in the black with all the horns and shit, which I don't know how they didn't knock into the ceiling. I mean, that's gotta be weird, having like those big, like eagle horns that are feathered and shit coming out of your head. How do you walk around in that little tiny place with those big ass horns? I don't get it, but it's the show. We'll just go with it. So the women get Anna into the chair and they inject her with something while they're chanting from a very well-known season, Apocalypse. They're chanting the Avante Satana, you know, that chant. Then Anna goes to sleep, wakes up in the basement outside the door, obviously back where she went to sleep. So she wakes up, sees the little door and that it's closed, and finally she nopes the hell out of there. Runs the fuck away, finally. Now Anna runs to get out of the basement, but it is locked. Dex thankfully is there, opens the door for her, and he's like, "What are you doing?" So she tells him, "Look, I shouldn't have gotten drunk and I shouldn't have went downstairs, but I did. I had this terrible dream and I felt something move in my stomach. I felt the baby move." And of course, he does not believe her. Now, as Anna and Dex are talking, she trips over the summer day doll that she found earlier at the beach. Dex looks at it and he's like, "What is up with this?" So she tells him that she found it at the beach and tries to explain to him that a 15-year-old discontinued doll with pins in its stomach that looks like his wife is not a coincidence. It was left by her stalker, which he feels is unlikely. Oh my God! Dex is either choosing specifically not to see the clues, or he's in on it and he's trying to basically gaslight her into believing that there's nothing going on when there actually is. So that's just my feeling. It's very infuriating at this point to see how Dex is treating her. So at this point, I do feel a little terrible about some of the things that I've judged Dex on, but not too bad. However, he does break down and let Anna know, "Look, this was my baby too." So she holds him, they have some private time together, and the next morning Anna wakes up and she calls her doctor and lets him know, "Look, I'm still having pregnancy symptoms. Is it possible I was misdiagnosed?" He says no. He agrees, so okay, come on in a few weeks and we'll check out, we'll see what's going on. So while Anna is standing there talking to Nicolette, her gums start to bleed. Anna goes to the bathroom and of course her gums are absolutely bleeding, and she Googles it, and sure enough, bleeding gums is an early symptom, a sign of early pregnancy. So she's very happy. Okay, so people not taking Anna seriously about the pregnancy leads her to go to the drugstore where they have the baby sound monitors there. And sadly, that place does not have one, though Anna does see the antler women there. I guess I should like take my hair and like start doing it up like that, so that way I can start like matching them. That would be like so sexy. Though nobody else sees the women. However, they don't have the monitors, but the woman does feel Anna's stomach, which I thought her stomach, I think I just got done saying her stomach looks so small, but she actually is starting to look about maybe 3 to 4 months pregnant. She's got a little small tummy to her. And the clerk puts her hands on Anna's tummy, and sure enough, she can feel the baby and feel him kicking. And she says, "Yes, your baby is a kicker," which this surprises Anna and makes her incredibly happy. But as Anna is leaving the drugstore, she sees Sonia standing on the side of the road. She gets out to go to confront Sonia, I guess talk to her. And that's when Dex walks up to Sonia. Now, Sonia straight up sees Anna. She knows she's standing there. The two make eye contact, and Sonia even smiles at her. But Dex walks up to Sonia and says, "Son." So I guess that's his little nickname for her. And the two of them walk into this place together. And that's when Anna turns right around and goes back into the car with Kamal. So Anna is sitting back in the car, and then she sees, I believe it's Cara Delevingne again, outside the window before they've taken off. She tells Kamal, he goes out, doesn't see her, and she's like, "Well, I told you somebody was following me." So she goes back to her online calendar, changes back the password, types in the calendar title, "What do you want?" The person replies back to Anna almost immediately and tells her, "I want to warn you." And then another one is underneath that says, "They did something to your baby." Anna replies back, "Did they kill my baby?" They reply back with, "Your baby isn't dead." And Anna sits down and she's like, "Oh my God, yay." And at the same time, she's also sniffing something incredibly delicious. And she goes to the end of the actual, back lanai, and she looks over and she sees a dead, animal that's, all maggoty infested and stuff. She's repulsed, yet hungry all at the same time. And while that's happening, Nicolette is looking on at Anna and watching her. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on the episode. I liked the episode, though I hated all those reasons that I listed before in the review of what they did with Dex. They tried to make him human when he was talking about the baby, but they had it for such a short time that it was very difficult for me to associate with him in any way, shape, or form, or even sympathize with him. So I wish that they would have focused on that just a little bit more. The one where Anna goes downstairs in the basement and actually goes through that little door, but she won't actually talk to Miss Preacher outside in the open air in the light. Again, it did not make sense to me, but it was a nice little scary scene that just seemed to be hodgepodged in there. I mean, it was a confusing yet decent episode. I'm gonna give it a 5. It had, some pretty, decent acting from Emma Roberts. Again, I will have to see how this whole season plays out in order to see if I like Dex's character or not in any shape, way, or form, because right now I don't. Kim Kardashian's doing okay still. And the storyline is okay. I just hope I want it to progress a little further. It's episode 3. I mean, we only have 2 episodes left before the actual season finale. I want this to progress a little further, a little faster. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, it's decent. I give it a 5. I'm looking forward to watching the next couple of episodes. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions were in the comments and what your ratings were. Again, maybe I wasn't as generous to this episode, but I was just pretty fed up with the fact that there's so much evidence in front of Dex. And if he was truly a loving and caring partner, he would have actually listened to Anna rather than just dismissing it and saying, "This is very highly unlikely." Thank you for watching again. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like. If not, come back, take your shoes off, and just enjoy the content. Y'all are the best, and don't forget about Sexy Scathach out there just watching all of us.
Beware of Sexy Scathach.